This is my amputation story. I'm going to do a shortened version for you though, because really it goes from the day that I figured out that I couldn't fly without my cape to about 3 years until I get walking again. And there's a lot of other things mixed in with that. So the short version of it is I was injured in March of 2015 when I found out that I couldn't fly without my cape. So all you superheroes out there, put your cape on. It takes 2 seconds, man. I wish I would have been all good, but no. So figured I couldn't fly, had an accident, flipped my leg over, and I was basically staring at the bottom of my foot. I developed a whole bunch of nerve issues in my foot, hip issue, back issue, and a bunch of head issues, physically and not so physically. So I ended up with something called CRPS, which is complex regional pain syndrome. It used to be called RSD. They don't really know what it is besides it's damage to your peripheral nerve system, which is all your little feeler nerves. It basically feels like somebody took a red hot poker and jammed it inside of you. It's awesome. Everybody should experience that. No, it sucks. So I ended up with that. And fun fact, your peripheral nerve system also controls some of your involuntary things that your body does. So like your heart rate is part of your fight or flight, which increases your heart rate, which gave me tachycardia. And it also constricts on your blood vessels. And what happens when you stop getting blood flow to an injured area? It dies. So basically my foot died on my body. It curled right up like this, turned bright red, purple, black, toenails fell off, searing pain, and I was stuck in a bed. You breathe on my foot and it was just excruciating pain. They pumped me full of every pain med underneath the sun. That didn't work. All it did was make me a little bit loopy, but really never touched the pain. So yeah, pain meds, no good. I also had PTSD from my accident, which is crazy because I was in the Army, I was a private security contractor, I seen a bunch of stuff, never bothered me. This happened, completely bothered me. I was doing 1,000-yard stare sometimes where I was just somewhere else. Night terrors, just crying for no reason. Depression started kicking in. It was ugly. Those few years were ugly. I had 2 amputations. The first one was a standard amputation that was done, and they ended up not getting enough of that damaged nerve tissue, so I had to go have a revision. I went and had a revision surgery done, and that took an extra 3 inches off my leg, but I still ended up being a BK, which was nice because I did not want to go above the knee. For those of you who don't know what that is, so I had my leg amputated right in the middle of the shin, which is your tibia. That's called a BK, transtibial, below knee, whatever you want to call it. You still have your knee left. So knee, where I can feel my foot, it's like phantom there, weirdest thing ever, and cut, right? So I had that done twice, one at the beginning of 2016, one at the end of 2016. After that, I was able to start get fitted with a prosthesis. So what comes along with an amputation? Well, a lot. It sucks. Nobody wants to have their leg amputated. My amputation was by choice, so I had a couple decisions, and it was either keep rotting in bed and getting fat, and I put on, I don't know, another 50, 60 pounds being stuck in bed because I couldn't exercise. And this is coming from somebody who I used to fish. I owned a charter company. I owned a bait and tackle shop. I would hunt. I would camp, mountain climb, hike, mountain bike. If it was outside, I was all about it. You know, like I was go. I walked 15, 20 miles a day. I did that for work. I was out walking all the time. It was just, that was me. I was go, go, go. I grew up on a farm. I didn't know any different, and I loved it. So to go from that to being stuck in a bed instantly, man, that's some dark stuff, like dark stuff. So, I made the choice of having the amputation done. Did I appreciate being able to make that decision? Yes and no. So to choose to cut off a part of your body, that's not easy. Like, you would think, oh yeah, I'll just cut it off. No, it's not like that. It pays a toll physically and mentally. But at the same point, to wake up and just not have it there, that's just a shock also. So either way, it's not a good thing. You can't, I can't anyway, say that, oh, I wish that somebody would have just made that decision for me, because I always like my own decisions, but at the same time, to decide to cut off your own body part, best of luck. But it sucks. Nobody wants to do that. So I was after I went through my second amputation, started to get fitted with a prosthesis. I was in a dark place. PTSD was basically ruling my life, and to also have to go through what are like the 5 stages of grief for a loss of somebody. You also go through that with a limb. So it's weird. And to move through that, I got past that bargaining stage and then straight to the depression stage, and I was severely depressed because my life as I knew it was over. And on top of that, you add the PTSD in there, and to me at that time, I thought there was only one way out. And I'm not going to even talk about that, because that should never even be a thought. But that's what I thought. I was like, I have nothing left to live for. I had life insurance, I had everything else, people were going to be taken care of, I'm good. But that's not the answer. That's never the answer. And it makes me angry that I even thought that. So I went and got help. I made that decision to suck up my manhood and start talking about my feelings, and to accept what had happened to me. And that's the key right there, is to accept what happened to you. So I did. I went and started seeing a therapist. We worked on my PTSD. We did the whole EMDR light therapy stuff, which I thought was like straight out of sci-fi, like this quack, she don't know what she's talking about. But it worked. It 100% worked. So don't judge it. Don't judge some of these things that aren't just giving you a pill to make it go away. Don't judge them until you try them. It might not work for you, but there's tons of other resources out there. But try it and talk to people. I'm gonna leave a phone number down in the description of this video that leads to me. And if you're a new amputee or an older amputee, or it doesn't matter, and you need somebody to talk to, I'm putting my number down there. It goes through the nonprofit and gets forwarded over to me. Call me. I want you to talk to me. I want you to talk to somebody. If you just need to call me and say, I don't know where to go to find help, I will help you. So use that number. So here I am. I'm feeling bad because now I don't have a leg, and I'm worthless. I'm not a whole person. I'm not a man anymore. I have the whole PTSD thing. I'm crazy. I get phantom issues. So like, I'm nuts, right? Because I could feel my foot. There's cotton balls clearly between my toes, but there's one problem. It's not there, right? So it's missing. So how are cotton balls between my toes? So that doesn't add into the mental side of it at all. And I finally had to dig deep and say, what do I want to do? Do I want to sit here and keep feeling sorry for myself? Do I want to sit here and keep saying that I am not a whole person? Do I want to believe everybody that's saying that I won't be able to go back 100% to the things that I could before my accident? No, I didn't want to do that. And nobody should. Nobody should fall victim to that. So it was that moment where I started finding positives. And that's the moment where you have to get to. And you can only get there by yourself, but you need people to help guide you to that point and somebody to vent to, whether it's your significant other, a professional, a friend, somebody. You need that support system. You need somebody to help you get to that point to make that decision. So once I made that decision, I was like, hey, this isn't so bad. I get handicap parking. I mean, come on now. You can't argue with handicap parking, especially during a holiday time. Front row every time, unless you live in Florida. Then it's still in the back because everybody with a handicap pass lives in Florida. So you're still in the back of the parking lot. But outside of Florida, good to go. So get the handicap parking. That's nice. Yes, I need extra time to get onto the airplane. Okay, so you're first onto an airplane. You're shoved into coach. It's okay. You just take off your leg. You have ample leg room now. It's like being in first class, but a quarter of the price. You forget a cup. You have a cup. Hello? Like not this one. This one's got a hole in the bottom of it. I don't know if you can see that really all that good. It has a pin, but I have a suction one. There's a little tiny one, put a little piece of tape on it. You got a cup. I mean, who else can bring their own cup with them all the time? Hello? Me. So the other thing is I like freaking people out with it. It's great. I can just take this and I set it up on the table, like when we're out eating, and just watch everybody go. Like they make the best O face. Like, see? So I figured out at that moment that I was going to start living my life and I was going to prove everybody wrong. And in the process, I was going to have some fun with it. So that's when it clicked. That's when I was like, all right, we're going to roll with this. This is going to be a good time. And that moment is what made life a lot easier. And my PTSD is still there. It has not gone away years later. It is a lot less. Mainly I just get an occasional night terror now. But that being said, I had to change my whole life around. I had to change my whole routine around. I had to change people in my life around. And it sucked. It was a horrible thing, and it made a lot of people mad. But I don't regret it, because if I didn't make those decisions on to start living my life and to start doing things, then I probably wouldn't be here right now. And not being here is not an option. So, made the changes in my life, started living it, got all the perks of missing a leg. And can I drive? Yeah, I can drive. I can drive my left foot. I can drive my right foot. According to the Florida DMV, because I'm an amputee, I have a restriction on my driver's license. I have to have an outside mirror. Really, Florida? An outside mirror because my right leg's missing. I guess it makes sense. I guess it does. So I can do anything I did before for the most part with just a little more difficulty. I ride my mountain bike. I climb mountains. I hike. I fish. I do not run. I can run. I did not run before I got injured, so therefore I am not going to run after. And if I did, it probably looked like I was having a seizure and I would fall over. So I just don't care to experience that. It's not for me. And we'll leave it at that. I have proved a lot of people wrong. And it has been through great pain that I have been able to do that. But without pain, without sacrifice, comes no type of success. And that's where you have to boil down, hunker down, and say, I'm going to do this. No matter what, I'm going to accomplish this goal. And that goes with anything in life. It doesn't matter if you're an amputee or not. And you got to find that goal and stop at nothing until you hit that goal. And then set another one. And then set another one. And then set another one. My whole mission now that I have turned my life into is to prove people wrong. To prove that no matter what you label as a disability, because I'm telling you, I'm not disabled. I have abilities. I have the ability to create leg room whenever I need it. I have the ability to drink out of a cup whenever I want to. I have the ability to freak people out just for the fun of it. So two-legged people can't do that. Just saying. I have like superhero stuff going on. So that's what I want to put out there to people, is that what you may deem as a disability or other people may deem as a disability may not really be a disability. You may be a superhero and you just don't know it. So I started a nonprofit to be able to show people that they are not truly as limited as they think that they are. That they have the ability to do a lot more than they think that they do. Nothing should get in your way of doing that. And the more people that we get into that mindset, and the more people that help other people, the better we are as human beings. The better we are as a society. The more can be accomplished and the more we can learn from one another, because not everybody's story is the same. And I have taken a great deal from other people who have been in different situations and have applied that to my own life in the way that I do things now. My message to you is that you can do more than what you think you can. You just have to get into that mindset of, I am fed up with what's going on now and how I'm living my life, and I am going to change that. And then change it for the better. And then once you change that for the better, you help someone else. You help them get out of that place where you were and get to the place where you are now. That is my challenge to everybody. Whether you have a limitation, a disability, or whatever you want to call it, or you don't, you reach out to somebody and you help them get to the place in where they want to be. And by doing that, we'll become better as humans.